Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ATR's War, Bedlam Media's premier wrestling podcast covering AEW to WWE. I am Sam the SLB, co-host of ATR's War, ATR Rising Sun. And alongside me today is man behind X Wrestling's Nostradamus, ATR's governor of NXT, Scott.
Well, once again, if you're watching this on Spotify or YouTube, the glasses actually make sense today because the sun has decided to make, another appearance to blind me while I try to do this with everybody. But it's going to be another good episode. We got AAA results to talk about. We got Clash in Italy to talk about. We got King, Queen of the Ring, and more.
And rounding out the cast, join us once again, the toothless technician, the man with all the stats, my co-host from the review realm, John the Statman.
Toothless. I got this. Is that what you said? Toothless?
Yes.
Toothless aggression. All right, I will bring it for you today.
And not joining us today on assignment because, well, he can't be bought. It's just like Zach all over again. He just thinks he can come and go as he pleases.
It's the worst.
The Bedlam Media champion, Ethan, not with us. That almost sounds morbid. He's no longer with us. Well, he is, but he's not today.
Sorry.
So, guys, before we begin, please make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. We are less than 200 away from 1,000, so that's our goal right now. Because all other platforms suck when it comes to the algorithm. So that's my focal point. Loaded. I'd say loaded. It's another WWE pay-per-view weekend where we get 2 pay-per-views because why would you want just one? We had Noches de los Grandes from AAA on Saturday and on Sunday. Clash at Italy. Before we get into that, I did want to bring up, it was announced this week that Great American Bash is going to be happening on June 28th, which is the same day that we have, if this loads, AEW Forbidden Door and TNA Slammiversary.
Correct. And the previous day is WWE Night of Champions. So that will be a quadruple header for us. And funny enough, our next live show is the Thursday before that. So we get to do all 4 of those shows live. That'll be fun.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if that show goes a little longer than an hour and a half.
Probably.
Which is fine. Guys, join our monthly live shows. Those are fun to watch. All right. You know what was also fun to watch? I think we've all seen this, I'm assuming. AAA's Noches de los Grandes, Night of the Grandes, short card. I'm not going to read through it. You guys know. Week 2 is happening this week.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really matter what's on that card because we were just going to watch it. Show is phenomenal. Scott, I'm not going to take the words out of your mouth because you're the one who said it, but I'm going to let you say it about AAA.
Right now, since everybody's been called up from NXT has definitely gone through a refresh. And I just watched Tuesday's episode before we got on to do this recording. And it's really hit me that they've completely done a refresh. It's a lot of new faces, a lot of new names. Some of the old veterans are still there. They're still, they're the ones that have gravitated now towards the top of the card. But I feel like they just need to get their feet back under them and then they'll be ready to go. What I mentioned about AAA, I went back and I watched the last 5 weeks before the show last Saturday, and watching the build up to go into this pay-per-view or this show on their YouTube channel, I was like, this is very reminiscent of NXT Black and Gold. And just the crowd, my God, the more I watch foreign crowds and how excited and grateful they are to watch wrestling, the more I get annoyed at American fans and how they just sit there and are dead. They're just dead fish. Stop it. Just be excited. It's they almost take it for granted. And I kind of wish that WWE would just go overseas a lot more often because you get fantastic reactions from your crowds. Right now, they're in the middle of a European tour, and Raw was amazing watching the crowd reactions. The show itself was pretty good, but just the crowd always makes it that much better. And this night, dear God, was it fantastic. I made the comment to the chat here, or to our group chat, that Grande Americano, who's the Kaiser version, was getting stone cold pops during his entrance and during the match. I watched it live. So I actually watched the Netflix version because they made a big deal about it after Raw. They played it after Raw. But it sounded like the audio was changed, and they gray screened it when there was too much blood, which I felt like takes away from the whole point of the match. Like, it was brutal. You should see it in all its brutality. But watching it live on Saturday was absolutely insane. It was perfect storytelling, and being able to go back and watch like the older episodes of AAA leading into it just gave it that much more. And it just, I easily top 5 match of probably the last 5 years. It was insane. It was so good.
John, I know you're not too enthralled in the AAA world, but I'm really curious about your take here.
No, honestly, I'm not gonna take the piss out of this thing. This was, I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched the mask versus mask match, but this was great. It seemed like this was unlike other wrestling today. I think it seems like this was taken very seriously. And I feel like, there's humor in lucha libre. Like, there's dwarves, and there's a place for humor in wrestling for sure. This didn't have any of that. There was a reverence to this,
which is funny because it started as a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, when these two were on Raw, when both El Grande Americanos, I'll call original, and then the Kaiser version, I'll say Uno. I don't know, because he's the only one now. Yeah. So that way you can distinguish between the both. But when both original and Uno were on Raw, it was taken as a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody took it seriously. And then, but suddenly, these two end up on AAA, being a WWE product now. And yeah, I can't think of this. This is probably match of the year as of right now. Anyway, but there was a lot of spots in this, but it all made sense. And just the build up and everything like that. This was really solid. It had a big fight feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
They had the big introductions for the both of them, and even at the end, when Original removed his mask, and it was, no surprise, it was Chad Gable, but his family was there. He looked visibly upset that this run had come to an end. So I just love how seriously it was taken, and like, they did a lot of spots in the match, but unlike something like AEW, where I think they just do it to do it,
Mm-hmm.
This seemed to make more sense, and no, it was good.
Oh, I 100% agree. I was going to try to do what Scott did, but time did not allow it. Just watching this alone, and I said this while watching, I was texting you guys. I wasn't watching wrestling when Hogan and Rock happened, but I was able to. You watch it now, and you're like, oh yeah, you're watching the world turn. You're watching, mountains be made, and this had the same feel. Like not only because here's the thing, like, even in the States, unless you like MJF or one or two other people, you get the crowd who they're like a very unenthusiastic boo, yeah, just like whatever. Chad Gable had heat going in, like they were booing him just as loud as they were screaming for Kaiser to come out. Like, it was I said not only top 5 of the year, this is going to be a top 10 of the decade. When the 2020s are over, this will be a top 10. And again, the rest of the show was also great. It was also fun. And I might even just throw AAA as my, hey, I definitely got to watch this weekly now. because this delivered on a level, and every AAA show has. Anytime I watched it, this was incredible. This is what wrestling is about. This is why we've started this podcast to begin with. So,
I was saying to one of my coworkers, Daniel, who was in the chat last time we did our live show. I said that the original El Grande Americano, he was booed like Ciampa was in Black and Gold, and I mentioned the Stone Cold Pops for Kaiser's version. It was just, and the fact also that Pete Dunne was the producer of this match.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was also in the match because he's part of Kaiser's El Grande's squad, and just the fact that Taker is running this whole thing. You got Rey Mysterio, who, yes, we all joked about it, how terrible he is on commentary, but he's a general manager, and you know that there's eventually going to be a thing with him and Dom. So it's just, there's so much there that's growing. I love the fact that the other 3 matches were all for titles, and all the titles changed hands, which normally doesn't happen on WWE pay-per-views. Somebody always retains, but this was not the case. So it's like almost like another fresh start. So yeah, I'm excited for Saturday night when night 2 happens. And yeah, there's only 2 matches on the card right now, so I'm sure they'll fill it out with 2 or 3 more. But yeah, this is good. This is definitely added to my must watch every week now. So
also, and we're going to talk about it in a minute, kudos, Corey Graves. You know, I figured he was going to just like, I didn't notice he was on commentary for both this and Clash of Italy. So when I had figured it out, I'm like, wait a minute, he must be like, they must have just been watching AAA from like, I don't know, somewhere else and covering
like a satellite location.
What?
Like a satellite location watching it. Yeah.
And I asked both of you, and both of you had said that he was on location for both.
They were all there. It's only the Spanish announce team that's out during the shows. But I believe the rest of them, it's kind of like how when WWE does their pay-per-views, there's that section of other languages that speak, and I'm pretty sure that they were all there because Rey Mysterio made an appearance during the show. So he clearly was there. Yeah. And Corey and JBL were feeding off each other pretty well throughout the night. So you could tell it wasn't like they're in different locations trying to like wait for delays to speak. And yeah. So, but yeah, crazy to him to be in Monterey Saturday and then end up being in
Turin.
Yeah, in Turin the next day. It's like, all right.
No, Corey Graves was excellent. JBL was fine. I think he played into the heel commentator a little too much at times.
Yeah. But that's JBL.
Yeah.
he's going to take it to that next level regardless.
And then I'm sorry, all respect to Rey Mysterio as a Hall of Famer, as a competitor. He's horrible at commentary.
Yeah.
I know he's there to translate, but just get another Spanish speaker there to that, like somebody better. He's not good.
They had, funny enough, when they made the announcement for him to be the general manager, they actually had Savio Vega there as the translator for that day. So yeah. I was like, oh, that's good. But honestly, he wasn't all that much better. So it's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, they'll get, I mean, if he's going to be general manager, and again, he has years of experience. So hopefully he gets some time to, get some a little more exposure and get better at, behind the debt. Not everyone can do it, clearly.
That's true.
Last question about this, especially after watching how over he is. AAA mega title on Kaiser?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Probably.
Yep.
Who's the champion? Is it still Dominic?
It is still Dominic. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
The one slight issue with that is that Dom is over with the crowd in Mexico too. So it's like he's got to do something to make them hate him, or else it's just going to be two faces, and that can work. But
yeah, he's got to like burn the Mexican flag or something. I don't know.
Something, yeah. But yeah, I could definitely see that, especially now since they have a 2-night thing. The first night is in Vegas on September 11th, and Mexico City for their night 2 on the 13th. So I would expect that this would all happen probably on the 13th. Yeah, it's gonna be good. I was actually again talking with Daniel at work this past week, and we were kind of like future booking because we like the fantasy book here anyways at the ATR, so we started doing it with that. So we kind of came up with this thing where we needed to find a way to how that match is going to actually work its way to actually happening. And we came up with some wild things like Rey Mysterio turning heel to help his son, like during night 1, and then Chad Gable making his big return, like he said at the end of his match, that some way somehow he'll show up night 2 and help Kaiser win the title. So it's like there's a lot of fun things that we were just joking around about, but I would like to see them have some, take some good risks, and that match could be, an all-timer also.
I'm so glad, because again, we've been watching wrestling for a while. American wrestling is easy to get a hold of. Canada didn't have anything until this year, pretty much. Japanese wrestling's, kind of been accessible, but Mexican wrestling has always been difficult.
Mm-hmm.
They've never seemed to bring it, and they're right over the border. So you'd be like, all right, maybe you're gonna at least come in through the South, coming through Texas and New Mexico, Arizona, California, Nevada. It just hasn't, for whatever reason. But now we get that.
It's honestly why, and of course I'll make the joke again. It's my Lucha Underground moment of the night. It's why I loved Lucha Underground so much, is because they pulled a lot of luchadors into the show. And I still made like the comments as I'm watching, one of the past episodes, there was an episode with Aerostar and with Drago, and those guys were prominent figures when Lucha Underground was around. I'm like, I know who they are because I watched them years ago on Lucha Underground. So it's like that was my first taste into like real luchador wrestling. And then being able to watch AAA now, I'm all for it.
Which I know, it's funny, I'm going to just bring this up. I don't know if we talked about it. There's a teaser going around with about Lucha Underground.
Yep.
So I don't know if they're bringing it back up. I don't know if they're just opening up a new like YouTube channel that's going to have the old episodes.
That was one of the big things that I saw, that it was going to be a new YouTube channel with Lucha Underground content, which if that's the case, that I would not say no to that. You can't find it anywhere. Like if you could buy season 1, but there were 5 seasons. Season 1 was great, but I want the rest of them. Like,
where did I start watching it?
It was on Netflix for a hot minute too.
It was also on Tubi or Pluto TV, and I was starting to watch it there, and then I just never got back to it. Amazon Prime.
I wonder if it's still there. I don't know.
I buy Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I think you could buy episodes, which I'm just like, that always aggravates me. But that's for a different episode.
All right. Well, we're gonna hop over. Are we ready to get this one out of the way? All right. Following day, Clash in Italy. Yeah, this happened. 5 matches. I actually watched it today. It was taking me a while due to scheduling, but I did watch it. All right.
Yeah.
I thought it was fine. I didn't get to pay attention. Again, some days I'm doing this and I'm working and watching it, so it's in the background. At least my positive takeaways, let me start there. I didn't dislike Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi. The crowd seemed like stupid for that one. They were over for that. Roman and Jacob wasn't so bad. And everything else happened.
Pretty much. Yeah, there were a lot of rumors that Jacob was actually injured, so they really couldn't go balls to the wall for the tribal combat. So if that's the actual case, then that makes sense why that match seemed very lackluster. compared to the other two tribal combats that Roman's had. I believe it was the first one was against Jay and the other one was against Solo. But yeah, you're right. It was okay. What else do we have here? Cody defeating Gunther, which I think we all said Gunther was supposed to win, so that was a bit of a bit of a head scratcher. Rhea retaining her title against Jade. Jade, actually, I thought this was probably one of the best matches she's ever had in WWE. She's really starting to come into her own. I know she was like super protected when she was in AEW because she was so green, and when she came to WWE, yeah, it showed. But she's been getting a lot better, and I actually really like having Mia Yim and BFAB with her. She always seems to do better when she's with a group. Like she did the same thing when she was in AEW. So I think that pairing is really good, but it's Rhea. I mean, I feel like Rhea's getting to the point where she doesn't really need a title anymore. She's kind of an attraction on her own. But whatever, her being champion, we'll see what goes on with that. We'll talk about Brock and Oma in a minute because I know John has some thoughts on that match. And then Soul beating Becky to become the women's IC champion was a joy for me because I love Soul. I think she's got so much potential. She's obviously still very new too, but I don't know. I enjoy the presentation of Soul Ruka.
All right, trash in Italy. So, all right, let me emphasize this: the wrestling was not the issue here. It was a lot of the booking of these matches where I thought it was dog shit.
Fair enough.
Like you said, we all guessed Gunther to beat Cody Rhodes, and you know it could have made for a big the opening match too, a hot start. You know, putting the title on Gunther overseas, and nope, didn't do that.
Nope.
Okay, fine. Rhea and Jade, it was fine, except for B-Fab messing up one of the spots with just grabbing her leg. And they seem to do that in both matches back to back. The leg on the rope spot, which I'm like, head scratcher there. Like, why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense. I'll get to this one last, even though it was third on the card. Sol Ruka and Becky Lynch, I mean, fine too. Sol, I think since she's been on the main roster, it's been kind of so far for her. And I'm starting to see just how difficult her finisher can be to do. If one person is off ever so slightly, you can see right through it.
Yeah,
I'm learning, but fine. Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu. Geez, I would hate. It sucks to be the first competitor for a title defense because all right, they're not winning, most likely. So I was like, there's no way Jacob Fatu's winning here. And you were right. I think there was some worry about injury, so I think they were looking into Drew McIntyre at one point to possibly take over for him.
Yep.
Which he got cleared, so that didn't end up happening. The worst was this Brock Lesnar and Obafemi finish. My God, this made no sense. You know, they emphasized too, oh, he's retired. Okay. And a retired man just comes back a month later to beat a guy that you thought they were going to strap a rocket to him, which they should, and he comes back and beats him clean. I'm like, and all this emphasis on him being retired. Okay, so is John Cena and AJ Styles, who you retired just this year. Can they just come back willy-nilly like this?
Mm-hmm.
And like this made no sense booking wise to me.
I 100% agree with that. I think you take that out. Let's say he didn't do the boot thing at Mania.
Yeah,
I think the rest of it would be fine. Like you said, the wrestling was fine. The crowd seemed over for it, but
it would have made not even a full lick of sense, but a little bit more sense if Brock like cheated to win.
Yeah.
If he nut shotted Obafemi or something like that, that would have been a lot better. Because he got one over on him because he didn't beat him clean. But he beat him clean right in the middle of the ring. It's awful booking.
I think the biggest emphasis is that it took 7 F5s to do it, you
Right.
know, and all that, you know. So it's like, what I think should have happened, because he took 4 F5s right off the rip. The one thing I think would have made it a little bit better at that point is if Oba would have kicked out at 1 instead of kicking out at 2. Because you kick out at 1, it's just like, oh my God, Brock dropped 4 F5s, and he's just like, F this, no thanks, let's keep going. But like, I understand why they did it, but I hate the fact that the retirement angle was already happening at Mania. If that didn't happen, then this would be like, all right, this is just Brock wanting his revenge.
Yes.
We're obviously going to have match 3. It's going to happen. So we all could probably guess that SummerSlam is going to be their third match, because Oba technically right now is in the King of the Ring tournament, which we'll talk about in a few moments. So he's going to have to kind of put this aside for the time being to focus on that. But I don't know. I want to say I was okay with how this match ended, but I didn't want to see, because Oba's been pinned before. So he's not like undefeated going into this. But I don't know. I agree with you, John. I feel like Brock should have cheated somehow. And then it would have made it feel a little bit better. It's like, oh, he won, but he, you know, there was nefarious things for him to win, but he didn't. So now they're doing there's the one thing when blah blah blah.
Yeah, whatever Brock said there. 1 + 1. Now I got you, bitch, or whatever he said. Made no sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that SummerSlam's going to be the end on this.
Yes.
I mean, it's going to be in Minnesota. So
right. Yeah. So if you're going to end it somewhere for Brock, like actually truly end it somewhere, it's the best way to do it.
However, I will agree. If he cheated, you know, Oba could come out and be like, "Hey, man, Brock would have been like, oh, we're 1-1 now." It's like, well, actually, you did blow me, and you could have kind of worked off of that to build up this last. So going off of what you're talking about, and I'm thinking about it now, how do you build this up? We're like, oh, we're tied. Like,
that's it. That's all you got. Yeah.
You're tied and we're retired. Like, what do you gotta make? Yeah, I don't know. The more you think about it, John, the more you get the seed planted in my head.
All the gears were going as it was after it happened. I said, what lick of sense does this make?
Now, to be fair, I was present for supposedly one of the biggest retirements that was supposed to happen that never happened. So I've always been iffy. When somebody retires, you should retire. John, we've talked about this with music before. When a band calls it quits, listen, you better be calling it quits, because I don't want you to see you in 3 years. Oh, we're doing a reunion.
Yep.
Why?
Yep. Slayer. They're going back on their word right now. I agree.
So I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know. The show was all right. It was like
middle of the ground.
It's not bad. Like, it's not bad. It's just like, and then go back to Riyadh this month.
Yep.
You know, I've still haven't watched. I can't compare it. I still haven't watched Double or Nothing because I just haven't wanted to. Yeah. Well, I haven't had time because I don't have 30 hours in a day to watch a AEW pay-per-view. So I can't compare, but I know, like, I don't know, how is this compared to like are we kind of just stagnant right now? Like, is it like, it's not Vince era, it's not horrible, but it's kind of like, all right.
There's like, I don't even want to call it like a building pay-per-view because it's not. There's not really a lot being built. I feel like, and we make the joke of like, I feel like every new show is a new era. So it's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
They need to start, like, I'm hoping that the King and Queen of the Ring will at least begin something, because the winners of those two will crown the winners at Night of Champions, and then they get title shots at SummerSlam. So I'm hoping that will at least build 2 programs there for those two. Don't really know what else is going to happen with the other titles, with the other wrestlers. So,
Yep.
I don't know. It's kind of a lot up in the air right now with the main roster side of things.
Well, I guess we will see what happens. We are on the early pre-road to WrestleMania Riyadh. So, because I know we're all waiting to see what happens. I don't know. That's the only thing. Every time we come back, I'm just like, well, we got Mania Riyadh happening.
Yep.
It's that whole transitional WrestleMania statement.
Yep.
All right. You want to talk about transitions? Let's do this. We'll bring this up. John, you were the one who brought this up. So this is off of 411 Mania. Nick Khan claims that the plans for Mania 40 never changed.
Yeah, that's right. So, that is absolutely not that is not true at all. He's trying to say, yeah, his exact quote was, he was speaking at SBJ or whatever on stage. I don't know what that is. So this was in April, so it's only just been published recently. Somebody asked him a question about WrestleMania. I don't know the exact question, but he said, by the way, the plan was always how it ended up in Philly 2 years ago. It's a predetermined outcome in wrestling. You want to throw the fans off. You want to let things bake, and then boom, it ends up the way we wanted it to end up. It never changed. All right, that's a bunch of crap. First off, it very obviously, we don't know the exact details because things change all the time. However, if you go back to that behind the curtain documentary they did about WrestleMania 40, where they pulled back the curtain a little bit.
Yep.
They explicitly, documentary details how the negative fan reaction from essentially when Cody gave up the main event spot to The Rock.
Yep.
Not only that, it was one of the WWE's most disliked YouTube videos in their history. And you're trying to, the documentary, it talked all about the WWE leading up to changing those plans and resulting in ultimately what we saw at WrestleMania 40. Sam has the hat on. You guys were there.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't even there. And I know that's what happened.
What is he specifically talking about, though?
And this is another part of his quote too. He said, I think the guy that asked him about the backlash, and if he listens to the social media, if the WWE listens to social media reactions, and Nick Khan said that was just online rumors and gossip that we were changing. It never changed. We convinced Dwayne Johnson to come back. He's on our board of directors. It was a tag team match. He did everything we asked him and then some, but that was always the result we were looking for. I think not. I'm afraid not.
This is after they kind of had a falling out, and then that whole thing other storyline didn't transpire, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it. On it. Consistent. Yeah. Got it. The only thing, I only asked this because I'm like, the only thing I remember us having expectations for was Stone Cold, and instead it was The Undertaker.
Yep.
That's the only thing I could pick up.
Sure. Yeah.
But like,
him trying to say that the stuff with The Rock and Cody and Roman and all that didn't change, that's a bunch of baloney.
So in a year, they're going to tell us everything played out as it should have with Travis Scott, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, everything played out exactly as it was planned with Jelly Roll and Pat McAfee recently.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, who are you trying to fool here?
I don't know. I mean, it's I can't even say WWE anymore. It's TKO.
It's TKO. They've had their fingers in WrestleMania for the last 4 years. And every year, we always come out of it with some topic of how something didn't smell right. with how this worked out. And to make things even more comical, WWE 2K26, their season 3 just came out. So people can start playing that again, do the new 40 tiers of things to unlock. But they snuck in the CEO of TKO into the game. He is in the game as a playable character. And this son of a bitch has Frank Sinatra's My Way as his theme song.
Jesus.
I mean, clearly he's the replacement for Vince, because obviously Vince McMahon will never be in another WWE video game ever again. But I'm like, how narcissistic do we have to be here? It's just, come on.
If we're going this route, the next TNA game we get, I want Dixie Carter.
Right?
She needs to be maxed out.
Yeah, this is what you're saying, Scott. The Take-Two Interactive CEO Strauss Zelnick was added to the game as a playable character.
Yep.
The song "My Way" was licensed specifically for Zelnick's character.
It's only
Good
for
Lord.
him. Yep. Just like because last year they had what was his name? Tyrese Halliburton. He was in the game. He's also back in this one. He has 50 Cent's Many Men as his locked theme song too. So
It says it is a song lock, meaning community creators cannot apply the Frank Sinatra track to their custom wrestlers.
correct. It's just for him.
Wow.
Yep.
That sounds
What a mark.
that sounds like some ego.
Yeah. I mean,
Going
they did that for Cody when Cody first returned. They locked his theme song just for him. Now everybody can use it. But like I said, with Tyrese Halliburton, he has 50 Cent's Many Men as his locked song, and now Strauss has My Way from Frank Sinatra locked as his. But it's just like nobody asked for this shit. Like, what? Whatever. It just, I don't know. The longer TKO runs this company, the more I get aggravated about it.
They're sticking their fork in WWE's food.
Correct. Get out.
And it's
Don't
not
like it.
like in a Vince way either. It's just these little things. You know, sometimes it's the little things.
Yep. Yeah, it's like an ad every 2 square feet. And it's like they've actually done a decent job of pulling back the ads for Raws. Raws are not as bad. Pay-per-views are not as bad. SmackDown is actually, I think, back to just the W's, maybe a couple on the top and bottom, which is fine. But like, that was one thing they did say. Sorry, yeah, we put a lot. We'll take that under advisement. Of course, Nick Khan will probably come back in a year saying that was always the plan, that they were always going to pull back on all their advertisements. But yeah, it's just.
All right. Well, I was watching AAA, and I was complaining to you guys. I think in the first 10 minutes, it had 7 ads. And they weren't like, hey, we're going to do 3 minutes worth of ads, and then we'll let you go back for the next half hour. That's fine. I grew up in the 90s. I know what television used to be like. But, excuse me, when you have a 15-second ad every 2.5 minutes, I think I said to you, Scott, I'm like, this is why I think I didn't go in all the way the first time.
But the thing of it was, when I watched it live, I think there were 6 ads the whole 2 hours, and they were in proper spots. They weren't. I think maybe twice they interrupted a match to have an ad, but it would be like a television spot, so it worked.
Before the first match, when the entrances were happening, there were 2 separate 15-second ads.
Wow.
And then if I needed to skip ahead, kind of like Ethan does, where I'm like, I just want to get to the next match. I get time crunch. A 15-second ad happens, and I figure out 10 seconds later, I'm going to skip ahead now. I skip ahead, ad. Every single time I'd skip forward, ad.
Yep.
I wonder if they're just doing that because it's the post tape, and they're like, oh, let's throw all our ads here because they know people are going to watch. It had well over 1 million views less than 12 hours after the show was over.
I was this close to going to the YouTube website I go to and ripping it. Like full transparency.
That probably would have been better. I mean, it's tough. I mean, I know it's Saturday night at 10 p.m. Most people are either in bed or they're out or they're not really watching TV or watching wrestling. So I was just lucky
Yep.
enough to be like, you know what, I'm going to make sure I watch this, because when I went back and watched other shows, like when I watched the shows beforehand, there were a lot of ads.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, well, this is going to suck. So I need to make sure I watch this live and hope that there isn't a lot. And there really wasn't. So I have to make sure now when I watch AAA, I have to watch it live, because then it'll be like watching television. And it's only an hour long. So I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like, again, I'm gonna go back to my transitional WrestleMania statement. Between the Saudi stuff and between the TKO stuff, I don't think any of this is over. I think something in the next 4 years is gonna, something's still fishy, and there's gonna be something that's gonna break the camel's back one way or the other here.
I'm telling you, I think they're not just me, other people too. I think they're gearing up for a Saudi Arabia sale. I think. I hate to be the doomsayer, but
Which is the only concern. Okay, is TKO just going to sell WWE, or is it going to sell WWE and UFC? Because I don't know. I'm not big on UFC, but I don't know if UFC is big over in Saudi Arabia.
It is. They have some of their bigger shows over there as well. When they do the Riyadh season commercials, they always show UFC as well. UFC, boxing, and they show wrestling and some of the other sports. I think soccer is also involved in stuff. But yeah, they show a lot of stuff. So it's definitely a big sport over there too.
yeah, they'll just throw a ton of money at them. Saudi Arabia,
I don't know. Maybe that's where all the live golf money is going to go. But I don't know. I hope not. I hope it stays. I mean, I don't want it to be with TKO, but I'd rather have it stay local. But who knows?
Yeah. Same. Well, we're gonna touch over here to this other topic I wasn't avoiding, Scott. It just how things were falling this week. King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring tournaments. We have our brackets, and we're already in the midst of it. And boy, did I have something to say about this.
Yeah. So they gave us, a tournament like they always do, but for I think the second or third year in a row, it is fatal four ways to determine your semifinals matches, and I absolutely hate it. I miss the one-on-ones like they used to have back in the day. And then, like, even if it's not like a 16-person tournament, like even if it's an 8-person tournament, just give me one-on-one matches, because fatal four ways they're fun, but for this type of thing, I don't think it works, because you can have so many storylines come out of a tournament like this if you do it the proper way.
Well, that's the purpose. Yeah. That's why we have the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble, same thing.
Yep.
Yeah. And did they even do qualifying matches here?
Nope. They just picked people and off it went. They announced the tournament brackets during the post show for Clash of Italy, and they split them up. The Fatal Four was 2 from Raw, 2 from SmackDown, and then they're just going to be going over the next couple of weeks. And then I'm assuming the semifinals is probably going to be the Raw and SmackDown before Night of Champions, and then the finals, of course, are at Night of Champions itself. But yeah, we had 2 matches on Raw. We had Obafemi advance in his Fatal 4-Way, and Io Sky advanced in her first Fatal 4-Way. So there's going to be 2 more on SmackDown, and then I'm assuming they're going to continue that trend until they get everything set and ready to go. But yeah, I love King of the Ring. I always have, and Queen of the Ring is always. I love tournaments when it comes to like this type of stuff, but this part aggravates me. Like, just give me the traditional way. You can easily do it. Dedicate the damn shows to it, for God's sakes. If you, especially right after a pay-per-view where there's not really anything going. I mean, yes, we had Jacob Fatu acknowledge Roman on Raw, so now he's part of the bloodlines rebuilding itself again. So yeah, there was that. Other than that, it was really a whole lot of posturing on Raw.
Yeah.
Outside of the Fatal 4-Ways.
But even like you're saying stories, all right? Even if they were qualifying matches. I mean, the men's, we had Penta, Oba, Solo, and Carmelo.
Yep.
And Femi just moves forward. We got Mysterio, Breaker, Williams, and Priest. I feel like you could do stories if that was broken down. Rollins, Shawn Evans. Is that Tongaloa?
Talatonga.
Tamatanga. All right. And then Ricky Saints, and then Jay, LA, Royce, and Finn. And then the women's, this blows my mind. Io Sky is already in the semifinals after having a match with Roxanne Perez, Julia, and Lash Legend. We're just going to wipe people out.
Pretty much.
We don't want to build anything up here.
Yeah. I mean, in the women's, they actually kind of did something, but it doesn't make sense because they're on different shows. They kind of had a thing between Roxanne and Julia, but Julia's on SmackDown, Roxanne's on Raw, so there's really not. But other than that, yeah. And like the men's, hello, Penta's your IC champ. And they just kind of tossed him away. He wasn't part of the fall, but still, it's like, I don't know. It aggravates me. But also, another thing that really kind of pissed me off, Liv Morgan, who is the Women's World Heavyweight Champion, is in this tournament. Why? She did say she wants both titles. I get that. Okay, fine. You want to be two belts, Morgan, whatever. But you shouldn't be. Champions should never be in these tournaments.
Is that why there was so much question online about why she was in this?
Yes.
And she appeared drunk on the Clash in Italy post show.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She doesn't need to be there.
No. I mean, I don't anticipate her moving forward. I'd actually like to see Chelsea Green move forward. I think that would be fun, but again, probably won't happen. But yeah,
not if you're Michael Hayes, it won't.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, I don't like. It's kind of like every so often. So in New Japan, sometimes they'll do their tournaments and then we get to semifinals. And instead of doing like, hey, we got the A block and the B block, and then the A blocks are going to go up against each other in the B, they'll do like A1 and B2, and then B1 and A2 fight each other. And I'm like, hold on. We have two different blocks.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be going up. Your block's supposed to wrestle each other. And then in the finals, you move your way up to an A block and B block as opposed to, the finals of both clash.
Yeah.
Instead, they'll like, all right, A block and B block, we're going to mix them throughout the finals.
It's kind of like how they do it in like the World Cup soccer, though. It's like you have the different matchups. So like the winners of your blocks are supposed to technically have an easier path to the finals. So that's why you would face the lower person in the other block. Because you've already faced the person in your block at some point during your round robin tournament.
As an American and a born and bred New England Patriots fan, it's not American. We need to be doing things our way. Because it makes sense.
I mean, it's kind of funny because this is the only time of like every 4 years where I actually give a shit about soccer because, yes, the World Cup starts on the 11th. So I'll actually pay attention. But after that, then I don't care about soccer again for 4 years. So
yep.
It's the only reason why that was in my brain when you were talking
also
about
that. It's happening here too, I think.
Yeah,
draws
that's
more
also
interest
wild
to it.
too.
Yeah.
When does that start?
The 11th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So don't go to Tampa anytime soon.
Pretty much.
Well,
yep. And I realized like if I decide to go to Slammiversary, driving into Boston around that time is going to be insane. Even though it's in Foxborough, or I'm sorry, the Boston Stadium.
Yep.
It's still close enough where it's going to be just nuts. But yeah. Should be interesting.
Yeah, I know tickets are not cheap either for that.
No.
I wanted to go because I'm like, oh, that'll be fun, an experience.
No, I would not buy tickets for that.
No, we got other things like Beach Break, which I need to get tickets for still.
Yeah.
And what's the other one that's coming to Tampa? Bound for Glory.
Yes.
What do you want? While we were talking, I was just looking, and good old John's favorite person on the planet, Sean Ross Sapp.
Oh. I
Just
wasn't
second
100%
favorite
sure.
person.
I wasn't 100% sure if he was being serious. I was like, oh, did Cornette say something?
No, the Butcher and the Blade are free agents after the AEW contracts have expired per Fightful.
Oh my God, they're still there.
That's what I
forgot
said.
about them.
They were one that I was so certain that they were going to give them something.
Yep.
Another team. Again, I don't think I can blame one company or another. They both do it at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, it's not an AEW thing. Come on. It's not an AEW thing. It's not a WWE thing. They both do it, and I will never understand it.
Yep.
Like
Now they can go back to TNA, or they can go to TNA and be back with the bunny.
Yeah, that's what I saw. That's what everyone's saying, which would be kind of cool.
Yeah,
And then
I'd love that. I loved watching them as a tag team.
Now imagine what they could do if TNA and WWE still do things together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for them. I hope they get some kind of traction, get a title run somewhere. Because they were always an interesting mix. They always seem like monsters. They always seem like, all right, we're going to have some cool heel tag team. And it was like, I'm going to use everyone's favorite NXT tag team, The Ascension.
That still makes me so sad. Ugh. The first butchering of an NXT call-up by Vince McMahon.
Oh, man. You know, if you know, in a modern world, some people would say it was almost like a genocide. It's being facetious, people. All right. We got anything else hanging on the docket here? I know it's kind of, you know, all the pay-per-views have kind of come by. We got the end of the month. That's pretty solid. I know MLW. This is. Oh, wait a minute. Ethan did tell me he had breaking news. He wanted to let everyone know the reason he is out tonight is because he's doing his monthly visit to El Generico's orphanage.
Yes.
So,
very nice. Very nice.
the only other thing, and I started watching it, but I didn't have the desire to watch for 2 hours. I think MLW Fusion is officially back on. Started on YouTube this week.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I did hear that.
So, if you decide to add things to your docket because you got nothing else to watch or do, feel free to do so. Or we just let Ethan watch it and then let us know.
Yeah. Well, either him or one of his 18,000 clones.
Yep. 10,000 ready and 100,000 on the way.
Yep.
So, yeah, I guess we're here for time. John, get anything? Nothing?
I think that's all that's happening right now in the world of wrestling, anyway. Yeah.
Until we drop this and something else happens.
Of course, because
Something
that's
will
just
happen
how
tomorrow
this works.
morning.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
The footage of the Ludwig Kaiser incident will surface tomorrow or something.
All right.
Well, if it does, Sam will probably have a short about it. So we'll get it out one way or another.
We will. All right. So before we go, John, tell people where they can find you at.
All right, you can find me at John the Statman over on X. You can also find Sam and I doing album reviews on a weekly basis over at the Review Realm. We got a whole notes thing going of a bunch of albums that we got to review. So there's a lot in the pipeline. Much like Don Callis' teeth falling out, we are falling out and ending this show.
And Scott, where can people find you at?
You can find me everywhere, Scotty J Stream. I do all of the non-Japanese tweeting over on X. And look forward to another pack opening video, probably coming not this weekend, but maybe next weekend. Probably will be a live show, so come on by and watch me rip some wrestling packs.
And you can find me as ESOB Official. I cover everything on everything. Most social media, especially on TikTok, guys. Find your TikTok. Join us on Discord. Yeah, that's it, guys. I'm not rambling anymore because that's a lot to say. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And as always, do not forget to join the Bedlam.
Thanks, guys.